I mean, what an incredible vindication. A vindication not just for Kyle Rittenhouse, and I just feel so great for that kid, 18 years old, and suddenly his whole life opens up in front of him. This is a guy, by the way, who did nothing wrong.
Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled?
He was attacked in all three cases by these vicious Antifa assailants, and he defended himself. And now he's free. The jury agreed. And I think this is crushing for the left because it's not just about Rittenhouse, it's about the whole left-wing narrative. And the jury essentially went thumbs down on the narrative. Let's think about this for a minute. You have a jury of 12 people, and it's a multiracial jury, predominantly female. And all of them voted to acquit Rittenhouse on all charges. So this is very hard for the left to process, and you can just see from their reactions that they're just palpitating with rage. Here is Nicole Hannah Jones, the author of the 1619. In this country, you can even kill white people and get away with it if those white people are fighting for black lives. This is the legacy of 1619. So this is basically Nicole Hannah Jones. It's always 1619. What year is it, Nicole? 1619. 1619. We've never basically gone beyond 1619. Yes, Colin Kaepernick. We just witnessed a system built on white supremacy validate the terroristic acts of a white supremacist. Wait, is there a shred of evidence that Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist? No. In fact, it was Joseph Rosenbaum regularly using the N-word. If anything, there is smoking gun proof he's the white supremacist. Kyle Rittenhouse is the kid that stopped the white supremacist. Now, I was laughing because there's a guy, this is a fellow from, he's a legislator in West Virginia, Richard Ojeda, Democrat. And he goes, Kyle Rittenhouse is the equivalent of someone jumping in the lion's den at the zoo and then shooting the animals in self-defense. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I'd love to have Ojeda kind of spell out this analogy a little bit more, because in his analogy, I'm just using his framework, not mine. The Antifa guys are the animals. Yes. And Kenosha is their zoo. It's their den. Evidently, they are allowed to maraud and prey in Kenosha just like animals do. And interestingly, they have no agency. In other words, they can't be held responsible any more than you can hold a lion responsible for jumping on a deer. So the lion is just being a lion. That's the idea here. And Rittenhouse is apparently the only human who has moral agency and moral choice. And so I don't really know if this guy thought it through, but look at the dehumanization that is involved here, and the dehumanization, weirdly, of his own side. Now, here is Andrew Cuomo, and this is kind of very typical of the political type of response. Today's verdict is a stain on the soul of America, blah, blah, blah. We must stand unified in rejecting supremacist vigilantism and with one voice say, this is not who we are. My favorite word here is we. And I'm thinking, who's we? Who are you speaking for? We just had 12 jurors speak with a single voice, so it's a little hard to know what you mean by we. The only we that matters here is the jury. Now, I'm just hoping for the best for Rittenhouse. I'm kind of laying out his career path. Starts out Rittenhouse as intern for Matt Gaetz. And he proves himself. Then he runs for state rep in Wisconsin. Eventually, he runs for Congress when he turns 25. He becomes the youngest U.S. congressman at the age of 25. I mean, what a way that would be to take his notoriety created by the left and turn it into a nightmare for the left. For Kyle Rittenhouse, as for us generally, success is the best revenge.